Hi everyone, this insight is for PARASHAT BEHA'ALOTCHA, the week of Sivan Tafshin Peh 5780. The Gemara in Masechet Shabbat tells us that the Sefer Bamidbar is really three Humashim. It is the beginning of Bamidbar until the parasha of Vayhi bin Soa Ha'aron. Then Vayhi bin Soa Ha'aron is a Humash by itself. And after Vayhi bin Soa Ha'aron, which starts the parasha of the Mitonenim, the complainers, that in itself is a different book. So in Bamidbar itself, we have three books. And according to this Gemara, we don't have Hamisha Humshe Torah, we have Shiva, we have 7. Because counting these divisions that are made in Bamidbar is 7. We must understand what is going on with this last division of the parasha of the Mitonenim. Well, let me bring the pasuk. The pasuk in this parasha says, "Vayhi ha'am kemit'onenim," and the people started complaining. Ra' be'oznei Hashem. It was bad in the eyes of Hashem. Vayishma Hashem vayiharapo, and when Hashem heard, he got angry. Ve'asafsuf asher bekirbo, and the mixed people who were amongst them, hit'avu ta'ava, they desired a desire. Vayashuvu vayivku gam bnei Israel vayomeru, and even the children of Israel cried out and said, Mi ya'achilenu basar, who will give us meat to eat? Zacharnu et hadaga asher nochal b'mitzrayim hinam, we remember the fish which we ate in Egypt, hinam, for free. Et hakishuim, the cucumbers, ve'et havatihim, the melons, ve'et hatzir, and the leeks, ve'et habetzalim, and the onions, ve'et hashumim, and the garlic. Ve'ata nafshenu yevesha, and now our soul is dry. En kol, there is nothing bilti el hamman enenu. We only have the man to look at. Moshe Rabbeinu saw that, and he cried out to Hashem. Vayomer Moshe el Hashem, Lama hare'ota le'avdecha ve'lama lo matzati hen be'enecha. Why are you doing bad to your servant, and why I did not find favor in your eyes? He'anochi hariti et kol ha'am hazeh? Have I conceived all these people? Im anochi yelidtihu? Have I given birth to them? And he goes on and concludes and says to Hashem, Lo uchal anochi levadi laset et kol ha'am hazeh. I cannot carry them any longer. I cannot lead this nation or these people anymore. And Moshe Rabbeinu tells HaKadosh Baruch Hu, sorry, I quit. So of course we have a few questions that I would like to share with you. First of all, what were these people lacking and complaining about? They had the man. They had food coming down from heaven. The man, like the Torah tells us, they were able to taste any food they desired. So what is the complaint? And to Moshe Rabbeinu, how did Moshe Rabbeinu want to quit? Why was he so distressed by these people? What was the thing that he couldn't deal with any longer? He dealt with something even worse, which was by the time of the Het HaEgel. And at that time, he didn't tell HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I'm quitting my job. He stayed and he remained a leader, and he asked from Hashem to forgive them, and he asked from HaKadosh Baruch Hu to give them another chance. And he remained their leader, and he was amongst Am Yisrael, Bnei Israel. He stayed with them. The answer is, what bothered Moshe Rabbeinu so much is from the words of what we read. These people complained. Complainers will always remain complainers. You can never satisfy someone who complains. But the worst of it is hit'avu ta'ava. They desired the desire. That means they brought upon themselves that ta'ava. It wasn't legitimate. They worked on it. They worked on having a ta'ava which wasn't even there. It was not necessary. But they wanted to say something which was not. They had everything they needed. They could have been very happy with what Hashem prepared for them. They were not ready to be happy with what Hashem gave them. And the Torah calls them BEHA'ALOTCHA. Asaf Suf, from the word Asaf Sof. He can be Osef, and he can get more and more, the Ensof. There is no end to it. Whatever you will give, they will never be happy. Even for what they complained. And if there was a legitimate complaint, and you give it to them and you satisfy them, they will never be satisfied. Because Asaf Sof. They will never see the end of it. What was lacking, Be'emet, by these people? What was lacking is the vision. Is to see the beauty and the goodness that Hashem has showered them with. That was lacking. That's why there's a beautiful midrash on this parasha that says, on the pasuk, the midrash says, "Zacharnu et hadaga shenochal b'Mitzrayim chinam." We remember the fish that we ate in Mitzrayim for free. And the midrash says, "Mikan shetzarich lehadlik nero Shabbat." From here we learn we must light the candles of Shabbat. What is the connection? Connection is like this. What was lacking to these people? The vision. They couldn't see the food. Yes, they could taste anything they wanted. They could have tasted the taste of chicken, of meat, of a steak, of whatever they wanted in the man. But they didn't see the steak. They didn't see the beef. They didn't see the chicken. So the lack of seeing, it was what was missing. And they used that as the power to bring more desire. The Midrash comes and says, do you remember what happened to this Mitonenim? They were lacking to see the food. Mikan, from here we learn, on Shabbat you must have the candles of Shabbat lit so that you should see the food, enjoy the food, and satisfy your vision as well. It's the vision of Shabbat. When you want to do Onek Shabbat, the right vision that we should have is to be thankful to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for everything that He's given us, and not think that we could change, or by changing it, or by complaining, we can get better. Because if Hashem wanted it to be better, Hashem would have made it better. Rabbi Avigdor Miller, Zecher Tzadik V'Kadosh Yivacha, had said, and he told this to our Mehutan, Rabbi Pinchas Shelby, Zichrono Livracha, who told me this personally. He says, it is true that Hashem can do everything, but please, there's one thing that Hashem cannot do. What is it? Do you know what it is? Hashem cannot make a mistake. He can do everything, Hashem. But there's one thing He can do. He can never do a mistake. So if that's the case, that means whatever He gives us is what we deserve. And if we try to change it, we're making a mistake. And to conclude, I'd like to bring a Gemara in Masechet Ta'anit Daf Chav Gimel Amud Bet. The Gemara over there says, Rav Mani hava shchiach kameh de Rav Yitzhak ben Eliashiv. Rav Mani was by his master, Rabbi Yitzhak ben Eliashiv. And he told him, the rich members of my father-in-law's household, they harass me because they're very rich. So Rabbi Yitzhak ben Eliashiv says, so what do you want? I want them to be poor. Rabbi Yitzhak ben Eliashiv prayed, le'anu, and they became poor. After a while, Rav Mani came back to his master and he says, please Rabbi, they now press me. They come to me to support them. They have nothing to eat. Can you please pray that they should become rich again? And he prayed, ve'i'atru, and they became rich again. On a different occasion, Rav Mani came to his Rebbe, to Rav Yitzhak ben Eliashiv, and he told him, La mekabli alai in shebeti. I'm sorry to tell you, I'm not attracted anymore to my wife. She says, so what do you want? He said, I want you to please make her beautiful, more beautiful. Amar leh, he told him, Mashema, what's her name? He says, Hannah. So the Rebbe answers, Tityapi Hannah. Hannah should become beautiful. And Hannah became beautiful. He was happy. Not too long after, Rav Mani comes back to his Rebbe. He says, I'm sorry. She became very vain. She became very haughty. She has so much ga'ava now. I can't take it anymore. Please make her a blessing. She should go back to be what she was. And he prayed for Hannah to become what she was. All the commentaries are telling us what's going on here. The Maharsha says we see later on that Rav Yitzhak ben Eliashiv regretted this prayers, but he wanted to give a lesson to his Talmid Rav Mani. What are you trying to do? To change what Hashem has done? Do you think that by changing it, I could change it because Hashem would do me the favor as I'm close to Him to listen to my prayers? But is it good for you? You are proven that it was not good for you. Whatever Hashem gives you, that is the good for you. Hashem says, don't plan for me. And don't even plan for yourself. Because my plan is better than the plan that you have for yourself. This is what Hashem tells us. And this is the lesson that we must take in our life. To be thankful to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for everything He has given us. To be thankful to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for everything that happens. To have full faith in Him. That everything He does for us is for the best. And if we do that, we will live a very happy